Yes, next we are going to see with displacement, velocity and acceleration and its graphical representation. Okay, so one by one we are going to see the equation and also the representation in graphical way. For this, let us consider this to be the circle. Okay, as we know, this we are writing as a, this distance, and so this is written as x is equal to a cos theta, then y is equal to a sin theta. This I have told you already in the before video itself, is it not? And so now the displacement traveled by the vibrating particle at any instant of time t from its mean position is known as displacement. Okay, so from the center position, how much ever it is moving, that is called as what? Displacement. Let p be the position of the particle. So here p is the position of the particle and it has a radius of a time t. Okay, now taking with the triangle of OPN, yes, so take with this triangle which is O, P and N. Okay, so it is right angle at the point N, and here we have the angle to be theta. Yes, from this, if you want the value of sine theta, yes. So what is the formula for sine theta? Is opposite divided by hypotenuse, is it not? So ON divided by OP. From this, ON is equal to OP into sine theta. Yes. Now substitute the value of theta is equal to omega t. Already we saw this equation, theta is equal to omega t. Then instead of ON, so ON we are going to write as y and OP we are going to write as a. Okay, so we get y is equal to a sine omega t. So this gives the equation for the displacement. Okay, so what is the equation for displacement? It is given by y is equal to a sine omega t. Clear? So next is we are going to see with what is the velocity. For finding out with the velocity, let us take the formula. The rate of change of displacement is velocity. Okay, so velocity is equal to rate of change of displacement. So we are writing as dy divided by dt. Okay, now instead of this y, substitute this value here. Okay, so we get d by dt as it is. Instead of y, we are substituting this value, so it is a sine omega t. Now differentiate with this. So when you are differentiating a sine omega t, okay, we get a is a constant, so as it is. When you differentiate with sine omega t, we get cos omega t. Sine differentiation, we get cos. Again, if we differentiate with omega t, we get omega. Okay, so a omega into cos omega t. So a omega into cos omega t. Yes, and already we know the formula, which is sine square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1, is it not? Instead of theta, we are writing here as omega t. So sine square omega t plus cos square omega t is equal to 1. Okay, from this, bring this sine square this side. Okay, so we get cos square omega t. Okay, so cos square omega t, which is equal to 1 minus sine square omega t. Is it not? Because we are bringing this term this side. Now this is cos square. Bring this square also this side, that becomes as root. Okay, so cos omega t is equal to 1 minus sine square omega t. This value of cos omega t we are going to substitute it here. So we get v is equal to a omega into root of 1 minus sine square omega t. Yes, from this, what is the value of sine omega t is equal to? Sin omega t is equal to, we can bring this a down, so we get y divided by a, is it not? This is sin omega t. Okay, so sin omega t is equal to y divided by a. Substitute this value of sin omega t in this place. Okay, so we get v, which is equal to a omega as it is, into root of, because root of 1 minus sine square, so 1 minus sine square we are writing as y by a the whole square. Okay, now take the LCM in this. So a omega, we get this as a omega into root of square, just taking LCM here also. So we get a square minus y square divided by a square, is not? Now separating the numerator and denominator separately, so we get a omega into root of a square minus y square. Okay, this root divided by root of a square. Okay, now this square and this square root get cancelled, so we get a omega into root of a square minus y square divided by a alone. Okay, now this a get cancelled. So we get omega into root of a square minus y square. So this gives the value of the velocity. Clear? So first, when the displacement is 0, substitute here the value to be 0. Okay, so we get a into, sorry, omega into root of a square, is it not? Now again the square root and square get cancelled, so we get velocity is equal to a omega. Next, when the displacement is maximum, suppose if this value is a, okay, so we get a square minus a square. If you substitute y is equal to a, okay, into root of omega. So a square minus a square is what? 0. Okay. So we get v is equal to 0. Okay. So when y is equal to 0, v is equal to a omega. And y is equal to a, v is equal to 0. So as the displacement increases from 0 to maximum, velocity decreases from maximum to 0. So displacement வந்து 0 ல இருந்து maximum போகும்போது இப்படி போச்சு அப்படின்னா, yes, if you are getting the graph like this for displacement, then for velocity என்ன ஆகுது? Maximumல இருந்து 0 ஆகுது. Okay. So we are getting this to be the maximum 0, maximum 0 like this. Okay. So it goes on. So this is for velocity. Yes. Clear with the equation for velocity now? Next is we are going to see the equation for acceleration. So what is acceleration is? It is the rate of change of velocity. Okay. So acceleration which is given by a, that is equal to dv divided by dt. Yes. Just now we saw the equation for v, that is velocity, which is given by what? A omega into cos omega t. Is it not? Now substitute this value of v in this. So we get a omega into cos omega t. In this a omega we are writing outside. So we get a omega into differentiation of cos. What is differentiation of cos is? It is minus sine. Okay. So minus sine omega t. Yes. Again if we differentiate with omega, we get one more omega here. So we get omega square. Okay. So minus omega square a into sine omega t. Okay. Now what is this a into sine omega t? That is the first equation which we saw, that is displacement. Displacement y is equal to what? A sine omega t, is it not? So instead of this a sine omega t, we are writing as y. Okay. So a, which is equal to d square y by dt square, which is equal to this. This is the equation which you are writing instead of dv divided by dt. Okay. Now, at the mean position y is equal to 0, the velocity of the particle is maximum, acceleration is again 0. Okay, so see in this equation, okay, taking with displacement, velocity and acceleration over here. So we are going to see the equations for first omega t, then a sin omega t, a omega cos omega t, and then for acceleration the formula is what? Minus a omega square sin omega t. Just we are going to take the values to be 0, t by 4, 2t by 4, 3t by 4 and 4t by 4. So this is 1t, 2t, 3t divided by 4. Okay. 4t by 4 we get as t itself. Okay. First substitute this in the place of time period. Okay. We get, so omega into 0. So omega into 0 is what? Again 0. Okay. Now omega t 0, have this equation. First we will find out with this equation. After that we will be finding out with this. Okay. So next is omega into t divided by 4. Here we are going to assume the value of omega is equal to 2 pi divided by t. So this is a formula for omega. Okay. So substitute the value of omega here. So we get 2 pi divided by t into t divided by 4. Okay. So now t get cancelled and one value of 2 get cancelled. So we get pi by 2. So we are getting this value as pi by 2. Okay. So next substitute it as 2t divided by 4. So omega into 2t divided by 4. So what is the value of omega is? 2 pi divided by t. Okay. So 2 pi divided by t into 2t divided by 4. Okay. Now one value of t get cancelled and same way 2 and again 1 2. So the remaining value is what? Pi. Yes, clear? Then next value is what? 3t divided by 4. Okay, so omega Omega is what? 2 pi divided by t. So 2 pi divided by t into 3t divided by 4. Okay, so one value of t get cancelled. Then this is 2. So it is 3 pi divided by 2. Okay, so it is 3 pi divided by 2. Next, last is t. So 2 pi divided by t into t. Yes, so t get cancelled. So we get it as 2 pi. So we are getting the value as 2 pi. Yes, clear? So we have got the value of omega by substituting omega and t. So t values are given here as 0, t by 4, 2t by 4, 3t by 4 and t etc. And what is the value of omega we are going to substitute is? We are going to substitute the value of omega to be equal to 2 pi divided by t. சரியா? So இந்த omega value போட்டுட்டு இந்த t value போட்டுட்டு we have found out the value of what? Omega t. Yes, next we are going to find the equations for displacement, velocity and acceleration using this omega t value. Now first substitute the value of omega t is equal to what? 0. Okay, first substitute omega t is equal to 0. And what is the main thing we have to know is when you consider for sine, okay, and cos, சரியா? Sine value la when you consider the value of 0, pi, 2 pi, இது எல்லாமே இந்த வேல்யூ எல்லாமே என்ன இருக்கும்? That is equal to 0. Okay, sin வேல்யூல 0, pi, 2 pi இது எல்லாத்துக்குமே என்ன வரும்? 0 தான் வரும். ஸோ இங்கே பாருங்க, இது நம்மளுக்கு என்ன ஈக்குவேஷன் இருக்கு? நம்மளுக்கு இங்கே sin இருக்கா? ஓகே, sin இங்கே 0 இருக்கு, இங்கே pi, இங்கே 2 pi இருக்கு. ஸோ 0க்கு 0, ஓகே, பைக்கு 0, தென் 2 பைக்கு 0. ஓகே, 0 pi to pi. சேம் வே இங்கேயும் பாருங்க, இங்கேயும் நம்மளுக்கு சைன் தான் இருக்கு. அதே மாதிரி சைன் 0க்கு 0, தென் பை வேல்யூக்கு 0, தென் 2 பை வேல்யூக்கு 0. எஸ், கிளியர்? இப்போ இதுவே நம்ம வந்து காஸ் எடுத்துக்கிட்டோம் அப்படின்னா காஸ் வேல்யூல பை பை 2 அண்ட் 3 பை பை 2. ஸோ எங்கெங்கெல்லாம் நம்மளுக்கு பை பை 2, 3 பை பை 2 இருக்கோ அந்த வேல்யூ எல்லாம் 0. ஸோ இப்போ செகண்ட்ல பாருங்க, காஸ் வேல்யூ இருக்கு. ஸோ காஸ் வேல்யூல பை பை 2 0 ஆயிடுச்சு, தென் 3 பை பை 2 0 ஆயிடுச்சு. எஸ், ஸோ clear with this values of 0? Yes, so we have found out the values of 0 because these are the values for sine and cos. Okay, next is substitute value of pi by 2. so இப்போ அடுத்த ஃபார்முலா நம்மளுக்கு என்ன தெரியணும்னா sin வேல்யூல sin pi by 2 அப்படின்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா sin pi by 2 is equal to 1. okay, plus 1. yes, அதுவே நம்ம sin 3 pi by 2 பார்த்தோம்னா that is equal to minus 1. sin pi by 2 என்னது? plus 1, 3 pi by 2 minus 1. அதுவே நம்ம cos பார்த்தோம் அப்படின்னா cosல வந்து 0 இருக்கு இல்லையா? எங்கெல்லாம் நம்மளுக்கு 0, 2 pi வருதோ அதோட வேல்யூ வந்து plus 1. ஓகே, நெக்ஸ்ட் cos வேல்யூல pi இருக்கு இல்லையா? பையோட வேல்யூ வந்து that is equal to minus 1. ஓகே, கிளியர்? ஸோ நம்மளுக்கு என்ன தெரியணும்? நம்மளுக்கு இதில் cos and sin values தெரியணும். எஸ், so here the formula is what? Y is equal to a sin omega t. yes, so இப்போ நம்ம pi by 2 எடுத்துக்கிறோம். sin pi by 2 வேல்யூ என்னது? 1. ஸோ இது ஃபுல்லாக 1 ஆயிடுது. அப்போ நம்மளுக்கு வெறும் என்ன இருக்குது? a மட்டும் இருக்குது. ஸோ a மட்டும் வரும். ஓகேவா? நெக்ஸ்ட் 3 pi by 2. ஸோ 3 pi by 2 என்னன்னா minus 1. ஓகே, ஸோ அப்போ minus a is what? minus 1 into a is minus a. Same way here also sin value, sin pi by 2 is what? 1. okay, so 1 into minus a omega square, so it is minus a omega square. Next 3 pi by 2, 3 pi by 2 என்னது? minus 1. so minus 1 into minus a omega square. okay, so minus to minus is plus, so it is a omega square. so clear with these values? okay, நம்ம ஆல்ரெடி இப்போ 0 எல்லாம் பார்த்துட்டோம். ஓகே, நெக்ஸ்ட் சைன் வேல்யூவும் பார்த்துட்டோம். எஸ், நெக்ஸ்ட் காஸ். காஸ்ல என்ன சொன்னேன்? 0 அண்ட் 2 பை. அதோட 0 அண்ட் 2 பையோட வேல்யூ என்னது? 1ன்னு சொன்னேன். ஸோ அப்போ 1 மட்டும்னா ஏ ஒமேகா மட்டும். ஸோ ஏ ஒமேகா மட்டும். ஓகே, கிளியர்? நெக்ஸ்ட் பை வேல்யூ பார்க்கும்போது என்னது? இட் இஸ் minus 1. ஸோ அப்போ minus a omega. yes, clear with this table? This is very important one. Then if you see the graph for this displacement, velocity and acceleration. so first displacement, velocity அப்புறமா ஆக்சலரேஷன். நம்ம ஃபஸ்ட்டு டிஸ்பிளேஸ்மெண்ட்டையும் ஆக்சலரேஷனும் வரைஞ்சிருவோம் சரியா. ஸோ டிஸ்பிளேஸ்மெண்ட் இட் இஸ் இன் திஸ் பிளேஸ் ஓகே பிகாஸ் திஸ் இஸ் அ ஜென்ரல் டயக்ராம். அதுவே ஆக்சலரேஷன் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா இதுக்கு அப்படியே ஆப்போசிட். ஸோ அதனால் இது மேலே போகும்போது இது கீழே, ஸோ கீழே அப்புறம் மேலே அப்புறம் கீழே இந்த மாதிரி போகும் ஓகே பிகாஸ் டிஸ்பிளேஸ்மெண்ட் அண்ட் வெலாசிட்டி ஆர் ஜஸ்ட் ஆப்போசிட் ஓகே. நெக்ஸ்ட் ஏன்னா இங்கே பாருங்கள் இங்கே 0 இங்கேயும் 0 இருக்குது, இங்கே ப்ளஸ் இங்கே மைனஸ் இருக்குது, மறுபடியும் இங்கே 0. ஸோ திஸ் ஆர் ஆல் சேம் டிஸ்பிளேஸ்மெண்ட் அண்ட் ஆக்சலரேஷன் பட் தே ஆர் இன் ஆப்போசிட் டைரக்ஷன் ஓகே. நெக்ஸ்ட் இஸ் இது பாருங்க மேக்ஸிமம்லேருந்து ஸ்டார்ட் ஆகுது. ஸோ இட் இஸ் ஸ்டார்டிங் ஃப்ரம் மேக்ஸிமம் then 0 and so it goes on okay. So this gives velocity. Clear with this displacement, velocity and acceleration okay. Thank you.